beloved Ascension pioneers. Welcome to this beautiful sacred space with me. As I'm sitting on this beautiful meadow, which represents this energy of bountiful presence, because there's so many flowers which are blossoming for our inner beauty. And I really feel guided to talk about the art of letting go, as I'm noticing a lot of us, especially a lot of individuals who may still have a tendency to cling on to the old, as we having this period now when it's really a time for our inner heart blossoming, which means to cherish our own desires and what we desire in a way that it's of the soul. And a lot of times we will be challenged. Every master in training always had these challenges to really live, not to just learn to let go, but to live in the art of letting go, which is a process of your living embodiment. So I made a few reference points for us, because a lot of times I notice when we talk about letting go, we see it as a process, as an event. You know, there's a person, situation, a thing you think you need to let go. And then people try so hard, and it's kind of like an elusive thing. So the harder you try to let go, the more it's elusive and it evades you. And you just get more and more frustrated. So I want to give you this full-on, simple, basic explanation of what letting go truly means on a deeper level of our soul embodiment. So what is really letting go? A lot of times we reference it together with forgiveness. But in our true mastery, we just live in our now blissful I amness. We don't even need to forgive, because we are this vessel. The light is always flowing through us. We're an inner radiant being that just lives in according to divine law. And when you do, you don't need to forgive. You know, you already live in a constant state. And it's the same with letting go. So it's not a process you're going to engage into, or, you know, it's not something you will do. It's not a goal. You know, my goal is to let go. You know, it's not something like this. But our goal in self-mastery should be to attain the art, the state of living in our true nature, which is the art of letting go that's always there. So this means you always choose for yourself from the self. Your soul guides you. And when you trust your choices, you're already living them. So you don't need to let go of something because you're already aligned. So letting go first has to deal with the idea of letting go. Sometimes we have the idea how we should let go, how this should unfold. There's a lot of control invested in this process. So the first thing I would advise is to let go of the idea of letting go and let it become a natural process. It's not a process, but it's a state of living. At first you might feel it as a process, and when you get deeper into yourself, you will feel it's not. So it's all about different levels of awareness, and it's fine because we're experiencing them the way that we do. So we should let go of these ideas, how we think letting go should look like, how it's going to happen, you know, trying hard. The moment we try, we resist life. There's no trying in soul embodiment, we just are. So we have to simply trust in the organic nature of this now-centeredness and who we are. We need to learn who we are and to trust that voice. So the second is to truly live in the letting go and not see it as this event, a process, a goal to reach. And to just know that when you live in alignment with your soul, you are in no need to let go of something. You're just listening and honoring the voice of your soul that comes to your spirit. So the infinite lifestyle, it's what it is. It's what letting go truly is when you live this way in the new. And then future projections and past assumptions need to be let go with this. And again, it's something that happens automatically the moment you shift into the awareness that you will see will come to it in the end. So it's an overview of everything that we perceive as in the art of letting go. It's one basic simple thing. And we'll see what it is. And it's so simple. It really is so simple. Sometimes I see we have this hardship. We're trying so hard and to understand concepts mentally, and we read about things, and yet we don't know how to apply them. It's because we've lost this touch with the crucial simplicity of our beingness. And we want to do things the unnatural way, the unorganic. So there's no room for this, you know, for these future projections and past limitations that come from assumption, because we really need to live in accordance to accepting all as it is and being guided the way we are without thinking we need to police something externally out of us. We only need to let go of something that's inauthentic. And letting go truly means returning to the self. It's a constant return to the self. That's what this art of mastery is all about. So living Also, it's important to live as though we don't exist, in a meaning that we don't see it as a personal process, but the spirit flowing through our soul, through our vessel, that becomes more refined and purified in this natural organic state of living. So the only resistance is always created through rejecting things, which means that we create this rejection through control. We have this lower self-control, and we want to also not just control ourselves, but if we do, we also control others. The moment we have illusions and mental projections, we will always also have control, because they go hand in hand. So we need to dive deeper into this inner research. Where was still my holding those tendencies? And then as well, with these tendencies, there comes this mental chatter that will tell you, yeah, but, sometimes you will say to yourself, I need to let this go. But, and you will have these pros and cons, and people say, write a list of pros and cons so you will decide easier again. This is almost like weighing things. And I've explained in my previous videos, you don't need to weigh and scale things, It's when you're in your center, you already feel. The heart is your true north, it's your compass. And what is really felt is going to be that trusting of the inner voice, which means the voice of your soul. And embodiment here speaks louder than words. A lot of times I see people say something, I want to do this, I'll do this, I desire this, but their actions are not aligned. So it's this constant wishful thinking that keeps us in the state of, it's almost like the safe bubble we create instead of just bursting out and living life. Spirit is that which gives the essence to life. Source is just that infinite life, but spirit is that which breathes life into creation. And that's why I serve spirit, because it's serving creation in its organic and beautiful way. So also it's important that we learn to listen. When we listen to ourselves, to others, we will see greater alignment there. Sometimes we only listen to what we think we need to hear or what we want to hear. And a true master knows that you listen with all your senses. Sometimes maybe somebody's going to tell you things and you're not always going to be fully paying attention because those parts you would rather not hear. Again, letting go, the art of letting go means that you live in a constant state of presence. And this requires this communication, which is also listening, not just speaking. And the next point would be becoming our own person. A lot of times we make choices because of others and pleasing others, so then we're not happy with it and they say, oh, I need to let go of this. Again, when we trust ourselves, our own path, our own guidance, knowing that we need to be inner resourceful, independent, and free beings, and that's how we will form our relations with the rest of the creation. It means that we will lose that tendency to control others and to base decisions according to others and depend on others energetically as well. A lot of beings, they kind of go and plug into the life force of another being, and then they feel attached, even though there's going to be maybe conscious or less conscious, but there will be attachment there, because everybody needs to learn to plug into their own life force, their own spirit. And when we do, again, you won't feel attached, and in no attachments you don't need to let go, because you're just living a free flow, free life. You're a free being, remember that. So the basic common denominator here would be, we got to this point. So when we trust in the divine plan of perfection, you need to understand that divine cosmic law holds all of our wills. It's all intact, it's all interconnected. And when we say, okay, this is not going the way I wanted it, again, we're forgetting divine plan. It has everything in control in a sense that it's beyond your own reasoning and control. So we need to learn to always see the bigger picture. A lot of the times we're not seeing it. We're seeing very superficial levels, and we make assumptions according to only that which we see and not that which truly is, which means that when we know that the cosmic law of one already holds all of our wills, that every single thing you've ever experienced, gone through, that came to you through the now moment, spirit only guides through the now moment. It's what it is. It's pure bliss. It means that you learn to trust that every single thing that ever occurred in your life was exactly the way, even to the most minute detail. We forget that very often, because sometimes things we don't like, we say that's probably not how it's supposed to be, I should have chosen something else. And we forget that the only art we really need to master here is trusting the divine plan of perfection, and that's the true art of letting go. Yes, that's what it is. So this pure benevolent life force in all creation has all intact, it's all taken care of, it's all supported. But a lot of times we have these egoic projections and desires and we don't see that. So we need to purify. Purity is this constant state of inner refinement. A lot of times I see people say, I'm not attached, but their actions so show that they are. They're depending on other people's choices and life force. They're not becoming their own persona yet, so they don't yet see. And they will, sometimes these people require a lot of explanation. You know, if you as an Ascension pioneer, when you're guiding others or just sharing with them, you will see that sometimes they won't listen, or they won't really be fully present, and they won't understand what you're saying. But you need to know that those who truly understand, they don't need your explanation, they don't need your validation and approval. It means you gotta master this within yourself. So you need to let go of that idea of explaining others, of, you know, because many cosmic beings, many other civilizations and star nations had to learn this, that there's a difference between being of service and assisting and intermingling and getting involved, which means that you intervene in a way that creates ripple effect, often deals with karmic ties. And this is all a lesson. There's many beings who are unfolding this lesson here now on Earth as well. So we need to come into this neutrality, what's really helpful, and sharing from our own sacredness, from our own space. You know, there's a theme now, it's a recurring theme, how to claim our sacred space. It's the next level of our ascension. Because before we really move into these new communions and spirit presence, we really need to master our own sacred space first. So this integrity from within that will create harmony, this is what it's needed here. And when we try to explain to others and rationalize, we will often create this waste of energy. It's almost like you're going to be feeling friction instead of flow. So let go of the idea that you need to serve in a way that will drain you. It's not true. True service is being your true radiant self. And I have a great mantra for all of us here that I, had yesterday in my bath. And it's, I let go of everything and everyone, and I become my own sun. This doesn't mean you ignore others, that you think you're the only being here on the planet. This means that you're so strongly rooted in your sacred vortex space that you will always consider yourself first, not in an egoic sense, but how can you serve when your vessel is not overflowing? And you need to take care of yourself in that way. You need to become connected with your spirit first, to be your own inner sun, your own light, before you can reach out your hand and guide others and help others, because as Ascension pioneers, that's what we do. So we don't need to rely on others to understand us, to support us, because those who are true companions already will. It's going to be beyond words. We need to remember that the true communication mostly happens in a telepathic thought transmission. It occurs through the higher heart and then the higher mind. They plug into, and we commune on a soul level. When we're experiencing this reality only as this human persona, dealing with others, a lot of times we forget that. And we want to use so many words and so many explanations, and then we say, oh, I don't know how to let this go. Well, just let it go. It's that simple. We need to remember that we're here to ascend, which means to walk into our refined nature, to live as new human prototypes, which means more telepathic awareness. Sometimes people say, I have love, I have love, I have love, and love is the only answer. And yet it's not true, because love also needs awareness to become wisdom. So when we trust and allow all completely, that is when true understanding comes. And it's not a mental process, it's a basic core self process that means love and awareness merge and become one. So I hope this was helpful, and I really wish to convey the short message that it is simple. If you feel that letting go is a struggle, then you're not letting go. Then you're still living in your mind. True letting go is a state of living. It's how you live, and it's very simple. So everybody needs to find their own path here, although the truth is very simple, and yet our own personal truth is the way that guides us towards that. And as always, so much love, wisdom, and power. Greetings from this beautiful sacred meadow space. I'll talk to you soon, and bye-bye for now.